2 weeks ago, I was going to pick him up. We're going to go out bowling together. And I walked in and I saw him sitting by his computer with a little animation program up. And I went over there and I tried to see what he was up to. He showed me this really cool, like 30-second film that he had made. And almost immediately afterward, he deleted it. It was like, well, why would you go through the work of making that whole thing if you're just going to get rid of it afterward? And he's like, oh, that was nothing. I was just dicking around high on weed. That's what you do? That's not my preconception. My preconception is like eat a whole bunch and maybe watch a movie or two. But then I got to thinking, how many of our famous works could literally be boiled down to that exact sentence? Like every idea has to come from somewhere. At some point there were probably two guys sitting in a room like, you know what I really like? Turtles. Turtles are awesome. Turtles are cool, man, but you know what's really awesome? Ninjas. Dude, I just had an idea. What if we made Ninja Turtles? Turtles can't fight each other. Well, they'd be mutants, stupid. And they would love pizza. Pizza's amazing. Oh my God, let's order a pizza. And, you know, I was kind of thinking about that. Like, there are certain drugs that people know the dangers of and just want to try to see the effects on the body. You know, it's not that weird. You don't think less of them because they say, well, I'm going to try this or I'm going to try this. Okay. But there are drugs that do not fit into that category, which makes me really confused about meth's newest slogan, which is meth, not even once. Like, there's some guy who's like, you know what I've heard really good things about? Meth. I mean, it's a Sunday, I'm not doing anything, might as well give it a shot. And then when he's on the way to the friendly neighborhood dealer, like, how about those posters? Not even once. Maybe I'll paint something or do something else with my Sunday. This one's kind of stereotypical, but I don't understand women. And that's not saying that I want to, because women understand women, and from my experience, most of them hate each other. I mean, for me, the literal definition of stuck between a rock and a hard place is being forced to pick a side between two arguing women. Because if there's an argument, that means there are two sides, which means one side will lose, which means I'm going to lose regardless. This has made life a lot harder at home because it used to be a woman arguing with girls, which was fine. But now one of my sisters has moved out, so it is women arguing. That just doesn't work for me. I have to play stupid most of the time. Like, they'll be having some inane argument, and one of them will try to drag me into it, like, hey, do you like it when you go to the shower and there's hair everywhere? Shower? Hair? I could never know about these complex things you've been talking about. You are both way too beautiful and intelligent for me to ever join this discussion. It does suck that my sisters are growing up, because now I have to treat them like adults. In my opinion, you aren't really like a person until probably 16 to 18, depending on who it is. I mean, you have childhood, puberty, and adulthood. You're a kid, an adult, or screwed. I don't even have a joke for puberty because everybody here has gone through it, I assume. You don't want to make fun of that kind of trauma, the lanky awkwardness, the sweat and grease and confused horniness. Nobody likes it. Nobody. It's like walking into a battered women's shelter and giving them all my funniest pickup lines. It's just in bad taste. So last week I did a little bit about how our technology seems to think we're stupid, seems to think we need warnings, like the phones that when they go too loud, warn you about the dangers of loud music. And I started thinking, I realized that there are instances where that is a really good idea. For example, seatbelt dingers, which everyone hates, which means they're working. Like, if you need an annoyance to move your arm 3 feet in order to, like, stop what could be a potentially fatal crash, we might need the dingers. It's just kind of annoying because when you don't want to buckle up, it's when you're going, like, 2 miles or so, which my mom has turned into a battle of will. Like, if she doesn't buckle up, the car will learn its lesson and not yell at her next time. I mean, there's empirical data that like fatal car crashes sometimes could not be fatal if the person was buckled up. And there's a lot of if-onlys when it comes to accidental deaths, but that's kind of a bad one. Like, man, you hear what happened to Billy? Yeah. He'd still be with us if only he were slightly more annoyed by dinging. Or if he wasn't deaf, I don't know. But my car does something a little bit different. My car, what it has is just those little light, no noises that pops up. And like I said, you usually don't buckle up if it's a short period of time. After my car realizes I'm going on a long trip, like 2 to 3 minutes, then the light thing goes right off, which I deserve because my car is in a horrible shape. I'm gonna give you a list here. None of this is a joke. Missing the grill, all the siding gone on the right side, the left taillight is covered in pink duct tape because they were out of red, and the muffler is attached by a sweatshirt and a belt. Like, I deserve that car's hatred towards me. Like, this is how you're gonna treat me, huh? You know what? Don't wear the seatbelt. See if I care. Give me the quick ending I deserve, and I hope you die with me. I don't know what this is. That's my car impression. I really worked on it. There's not a whole lot of demand for car impressions. You ever notice how Cadillacs be driving all like, and Buicks be driving all like, I'm going to tell you about a species of spider, several species that are referred to as social spiders. Now, one spider isn't that bad. I'm not too afraid of spiders. If I see one in my bathtub or something, I can pick it up and I can bring it outside. But social spiders work in a group. This is thousands of spiders together, and they've had this thing in Brazil where it has literally rained spiders. That means you should not ever go to Brazil. Any place that has a forecast cloudy with a chance of spiders, not going there. I mean, swarms of insects are bad enough, but the day that I turn on the news and hear about a swarm of flying scorpions, I'm cashing out. You won, Mother Nature. Mankind had a good run. They're used to that. Take Russia, for example. Russia is a country that has never lost a ground military offensive, not because their army is so great, but because the enemies freeze to death. This is where they live. Like, this is a place where what is socially accepted as having fun is literally just drinking vodka. Like, their main exports are stereotypes for bad guys on bad TV shows. And if you really want to like figure out how much Russian people just don't care, if you've been watching the news, they've had a meteor crash into a populated area, and there are tons of videos of it up, because everybody has these car-mounted dashes. No one cares. Like, the biggest thing you can point out to all of these is that you can hear the radio, nobody makes a noise. Like, if we see a second sun coming down in America, you can imagine there's going to be a little bit of pandemonium. I saw one video, the front-loaded dash was capturing this like ballistic-looking missile coming down. The other camera showed him. This was his entire reaction. It was so bright that he just put down his visor. Like, yeah, we might be getting nuked, but it'd be really nice if it weren't quite that bright. That's inconvenient to me. I am lazy, though. I really am. This is a thought that has actually gone through my head. I've been laying on the couch, of course, and I've thought to myself, man, I could really use another slice of pizza, but I don't want to go through the work of actually eating it. Wouldn't it be nice if I could just absorb nutrients through osmosis? Like, take note, the issue wasn't me making a pizza, it was the fact that I was too lazy to chew and swallow. I mean, I'm of the opinion that jeans never get dirty. Unless there is a noticeable spot that is discolored, your jeans are clean. They are reusable. How many days do you think I've been wearing this pair of jeans? 12. Let's keep it at that. I'm lazy enough that I've actually brought it into my social interactions. Like, I use social defaults, which are so much easier than actually holding a conversation. If the person's talking to you and they look happy, it's... And if they're talking to you and look sad, it's, yeah. Like, that's how bad I am. I mean, there are other times when that works really, really well. For example, if somebody's had to repeat something for you twice already. Because after that, it's just embarrassing. Like, we are two human beings sharing the same language, and I could not get that message. Like, the first time, no, it's your grandfather, it's I'm sorry, what? Just, polite and inquisitive. I was your grandfather. One more time. Like, now I'm kind of embarrassed. Now it's kind of like, that was silly of me to not get it the second time. Then the third time, I was your grandfather. Can Okay, now I'm going to go into panic mode. Now I have to say something because you can't ask somebody to repeat something a fourth time. I don't know why. It's built into us. It's just embarrassing. So I just have to go into overdrive, like, okay, let's see here. She looks sad. She mentioned her grandfather. Her grandfather could be sick or something. I'm going to go with something bad has happened to her grandfather. We're going to go with social default omega. I'm going to appear empathetic. I'm going to be a little bit understanding, sad for her. Yeah, that's how it goes in life sometimes. Your grandfather does not get raped by an escaped grizzly bear sometimes in life. It did in his life. I'm just trying to be polite. Calm down. Now, I did think of a really clever and funny way to end this last routine, but as I said, I am lazy. My feet are starting to hurt, so maybe next time.